Dylan Harper's the truth.
That's
Dylan
what I'm
Harper
talking about.
is the truth. Like, I know we're all excited about Cooper Flagg, and I'm among the people excited about him, but Dylan Harper's the truth. And watching him in the preseason, 19 years old, looking like he's 25 in terms of strength, the quick first step, the burst, the aggressive to finish at the rim, the chemistry's already developing.
From struggling in Cleveland to hitting the game winner in New Orleans.
Into Harper. Clock going down. Dylan Harper throws it up and puts it in! A clutch shot from Dylan Harper in the Big Easy.
Dylan Harper is showing the league he's not just another rookie. He's a rising star in San Antonio, and he's doing it with swagger, skill, and serious upside. The Spurs rookie guard had himself a night on Monday, a massive performance off the bench to take down the New Orleans Pelicans. He finished with 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists on 62.5% shooting. And Harper didn't just pad his stats against backups. He led the Spurs with 9 points in the fourth quarter, added 3 more assists, and in the final moments, he just took the game. A clutch, downhill, no-fear layup to seal the win. And look at who he went through to get it. Saddiq Bey is a legit 6'8" NBA forward. Strong, physical, experienced. It didn't matter. Dylan went straight through him for a tough finish, brushing off a seasoned vet like it was nothing. Harper is not your typical rookie. This breakout game pushed the Spurs to a 16-7 overall record, but what's more important, 8-3 without Wemby. And his timing couldn't have been better. Harper was coming off a rough night, only 3 points against the Cavs, shooting 1 for 11 and struggling to find any rhythm. Against the Pelicans, he completely flipped the script. Harper not only set a new season high with 22 points, he scored 18 of them at the rim, also a season high, going 9 for 11 on dunks and layups. That's an elite bounce back. San Antonio was rolling early in New Orleans, building a 25-point lead behind a dominant second quarter. But the real question at halftime was simple. Would the Spurs' notorious third quarter meltdown return? Yep, and yep. The Pelicans hit them with a ruthless zone. San Antonio couldn't buy a bucket, turnovers piled up, and New Orleans won the quarter 45-23, erasing the entire lead and taking a 2-point edge into the fourth. That set the stage. Crunch time, rookies making plays. And for the Spurs, it was Dylan Harper leading the charge. 9 of his 22 coming in the fourth, and luckily for San Antonio, crunch time is where they thrive. They're now 11-3 in those situations, holding the third best clutch record in the NBA by win percentage. Fourth quarter stats don't lie either. 6th in offense, 9th in defense, 4th in net rating. And in the clutch, their offense jumps to 2nd. They rebound better, turn it over less, and make sharper reads. It's weird, but it works. In this one, the vets weren't getting it done. Even Fox had some uncharacteristic turnovers, and Stephon Castle, in his first game back since mid-November, was still finding his rhythm. So head coach Mitch Johnson handed the keys to his rookie. And the fact that he trusted Harper, with vets on the floor and the game on the line, tells you exactly what the Spurs think of him. You could see it from the opening tip. Dylan Harper gets downhill like a runway freight train. It's wild. He plays basketball like he's sprinting down a mountain.
Shot clock turned off. Harper with time with 3. Harper gets by Dick. Harper driving and lays it in at the buzzer. It's good.
All momentum, all pressure, all gas. But here's the crazy part. It never looks out of control. He's not spinning just to spin, not flailing, not bouncing off bodies, just hoping for whistles. He's calculated, he's direct, he's constantly marching toward the rim and finishing clean. It's such a ridiculous skill that you almost forget everything else he's doing well. You just wait for the ball to get back in his hands so you can watch what happens next. For Spurs fans, the real bright spot was finally having Fox, Castle and Harper all back on the floor together. Sure, 2 of them didn't have their best nights, but that's the luxury San Antonio suddenly has, depth. Even when the usual options are struggling, they still have a guard they can lean on, and that's rare in the NBA. And it'll take some time to figure out the perfect combinations, how to blend these skill sets so they elevate each other instead of just giving the Spurs different looks depending on who's hot. But honestly, that's a great problem to have. Despite missing 10 games early with an injury, Harper is starting to settle in. After the win, he opened up about his slow start and that game winner. I was a little iffy, a little hesitant, like, yeah, I'm the new guy trying to feel it out. But as the season kept going, my teammates and coaches, everyone encouraged me just to be me. I think plays like that just show that I'm going to attack no matter what. And that's exactly what he's doing. His mindset hasn't changed. He remains aggressive. Among all rookies, Harper already ranks 7th in total drives this season. Before the Pelicans matchup, he had played 12 games, averaging 12.8 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 3.8 assists. And without their best player, Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs have leaned on Harper and the rest of their young core to stay competitive. With performances like this, he's making that trust look pretty smart. In the first couple of months of the season, Harper's mission has been simple: build confidence, get back to looking like the exact player the Spurs scouted, targeted, and believed in. And the people around him see it happening in real time. De'Aaron Fox put it perfectly. I think whenever you start getting comfortable in this league, it might start looking like you're a different player. But that's the guy we drafted. That's the guy who we want to be. And he's starting to get comfortable after getting his feet wet. With comfort comes composure. It's not just having the confidence to go to your counters or finish through contact. It's knowing what the game needs, cutting down mistakes, and understanding that the NBA rewards consistency more than flash. There's no bonus style points for a crazy bucket. You win by being efficient, effective, and in control. And Harper is starting to read those moments, when to slow down, when to explode, when to pass, and when to attack. Even Stephon Castle, the reigning Rookie of the Year, is impressed. He's just fearless, touching the paint whenever, finding a shot at will. The confidence is growing, and the league is starting to notice. But to understand why his game translates so effortlessly to the NBA, you have to look back at where it all clicked. His lone NCAA season and the scouting report that turned him into a top pick. Last season, Harper emerged as one of the most complete playmakers in college basketball, good enough for the Spurs to take him with the 2nd overall pick, behind the only shoo-in number 1, Cooper Flagg. What put Harper in that position was the combination every team dreams of: elite basketball IQ, a versatile scoring package, and a level of unselfish leadership that made scouts compare him to some of the league's best two-way guards. Harper earned 3rd team All-Big Ten honors and a spot on the conference All-Freshman team after putting up 564 total points, the most by any freshman in a season in school history. He averaged 19.4 points, 4.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.4 steals per game. He delivered multiple standout performances, 36 points against Notre Dame, 37 against Alabama, and a triple-double against Columbia on December 30, the program's first since Roy Hinson in 1983. But it wasn't all clean and simple. He still had to answer a real question: what the hell happened at Rutgers and why? Harper himself admitted the team went through a lot of highs and lows when he spoke to the media at the NBA Draft Combine. Rutgers entered the year with sky-high expectations. Coach Steve Pikiel rebuilt a roster that had been losing, and pairing fellow top 5 pick Ace Bailey with Harper created the strongest recruiting class in program history. But instead of a Cinderella run, everything fell apart. The Scarlet Knights finished 15-17 for the 2nd straight season, 11th in the Big Ten at 8-12, and missed the NCAA tournament for the 3rd year in a row. Have any of these troubles followed Dylan into the NBA season? So far with the Spurs, there's been zero sign that Harper is dragging the team down, or lacking effort, or causing any locker room issues. So maybe those concerns belong somewhere else. What intrigues scouts then is the same thing that stands out now. Harper has the entire modern guard toolkit: Euro steps, step backs, spins, step throughs. He plays with patience, and even without blazing speed, he uses his short area quickness in these tight, perfectly timed bursts. And none of it is empty flash. Every dribble, every pivot, every hesitation actually means something. His body control paired with his handle lets him throw defenders off rhythm, as if he forces them to play whack-a-mole while he stays completely in control. He's never guessing, only dictating. In college, he showed high-level command of the ball. The way he manipulated ball screens, splitting hard hedges out of pick and roll like it was nothing, should practically be illegal for someone who'd only just turned 19. And once he created that 4-on-3 advantage, he had all the live dribbling, passing talent and lob touch needed to bend a defense until it snapped. The same timing he uses as a driver shows up in his playmaking. He waits just long enough for a crease to open, then hits the open man at exact moment the window is widest. If there was a concern, it was that he leaned heavily on screens. His isolation possessions didn't always show a player who could create an advantage completely on his own. And while he's proven a promising spot-up shooter from 3, his pull-up consistency still has room to grow, but give him even half a step to get a defender on his hip and you see why scouts fell in love with him. Getting to the rim is the backbone of Harper's game, and finishing there is what makes him special. Look only at his rim shooting percentage and you'd think he was a rim running big. Defensively, Harper has the instincts and pedigree to become really good. He's strong and reads the game well, but he was also a consensus top 2 prospect stuck on a massively underwhelming Rutgers squad. The effort wasn't always there, which is pretty normal for high usage guards in college and the NBA. Being the engine of an offense is one of the most exhausting jobs in team sports. Finding a true balance can take years. Harper is one of those guys you can nitpick if you really want to, break down the smaller parts of his game, question what translates, debate what doesn't, but the bigger picture is hard to ignore. Even on a shaky college team with bad spacing and defenses loading up on him, he was still one of the most efficient finishers in his entire class. Some players just have it. He's not the most explosive athlete, but he consistently finds ways to score using his strength, body control, and touch to carve out angles and finish inside. The Spurs saw that upside with Harper and decided he was absolutely a risk worth taking. Given that Harper is a rookie on a legitimate good team with a stacked backcourt, it's natural that carving out a consistent role will take some time. First comes his own confidence, then the trust from teammates and the coaching staff. And based on what he said after the Pelicans game, all of that is trending in the right direction. In fact, that win in New Orleans might end up being the blueprint for his future role. Even though Fox and Castle got the start, Harper still logged 25 minutes, and most importantly, he closed the game. He finished with more minutes than Castle and took his spot in crunch time. The Spurs have 3 guards they can turn to late, and coach Mitch Johnson is clearly going to roll with whoever has the hot hand. Harper's job now is simple: play his game, lean on his strengths, and make sure that hot hand is his as often as possible. If you've been sleeping on Dylan Harper, it's time to wake up. The Spurs are for real, and so is this kid. Drop a like if you believe Harper has star potential, and let us know in the comments. Can Dylan Harper win Rookie of the Year? And if you enjoyed this video, maybe check out one of these on your screen now.